Okay, beautiful people. This is the official fickle finger of fate. I've worked on this all day. This is butter knife made out of stainless steel Mark II, because as everyone knows from my tantrum yesterday, first one didn't work out. So I've worked on this all afternoon. I started about 2 o'clock-ish because I spent the morning polishing up all the other rings that I have made and making them look a bit more professional and made sure they had no burrs and blah 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 blah, and that took about 4 hours to do 4 rings. So yeah, not exactly a lucrative market, but keeps my mind off my other primeval obsessions, and yeah, gives me an interest. So this is the feather ring I've made from the little butter knife thingies, Mark II. A lot of work's gone into it. I'm really tired. I was really tired like yesterday too, because I stayed up till 2 o'clock trying to solder the other one. But I polished up the other one, cleaned it up, and it turned out quite nice actually. I'll show you. This one, before we move on to the other one, this one I made in a size 18. I don't know what that is, but the Peppy tool size 18. It's a bit loose on me. I could maybe, to get it to fit me, I'd have to go down a size, or it will fit fatter fingers, or it goes on my thumb. Looks quite impressive on my thumb. But look, you know, it's all a bit mad really. I don't know where this interest suddenly appeared from out of the blue and where it's going, but it's keeping me very busy. So don't mind the squalor. So yes, over here, I'll just move that. I'm going to move that too. I'm running out of places to move to. My little decoupage suitcase I made. I'm very proud of that. But anyway, I am digressing. So I bought this little, I don't know, what do you call it? Display case, little whatnot display case for $30 on Marketplace a few months ago. And I bought these little ring display holder thingies in reverse garbage for, I think they were $1 each, which is way too much for what they were really worth, just little bits of bloody perspex. I'm sure I could make that myself somehow cheaper, but anyway, I picked them up. Here's, I also picked up bits of wood from reverse garbage, because I thought that'd come in handy for displaying bracelets on. And yes, and this is the bracelet I made yesterday, the successful one, not the failed one. And I cleaned it up, gave it a good polish. It's stainless steel, so it's always going to have that slightly grey look. So yes, that's that achieved. What else did I do? I polished up the little, it's very dark in here, the little feather ring that broke. It's now a pinky ring, or will fit a person with much smaller fingers or a child. So this is a ring I made. I put $20 on it. I don't know what to charge for anything. It's really way too much. But anyway, it's a ring. It's not like I'm selling anything yet, guys. I'm just playing shop, putting prices on things, and I'll probably have to renegotiate before I actually try and sell anything. But I gave this a really good polish up. Actually, I think it's worth $20 because of all the work that I put into it. Like, I peened it and I bent it and I polished it up really lovely. But you know, what I think things are worth and what people are willing to pay are two different things. This is a leftover from the little Japanese dragon spoon that I bought for myself, and that's the actual bowl, and it's sterling silver, so I'll put that in there as well. What is this? Oh yes, this is the little thing I polished up today. It looked a bit drab actually. It's come up really nice with a good bit of polishing. It's only silver plated, this one, but it looks quite pretty. I like it. That was a failed ring too, because that was from the handle left over from that mermaid's tail that I gave to my daughter, that I was wanting to fold over, and then I couldn't. It was just too thick, and I just couldn't physically do it without risking breaking the pepper tool, and I wasn't going to do that since it cost me an arm and a leg. But anyway, this is look, it came out quite nice. I had to redo the rivet. I'll show you. Let me see. I had to remake the rivet, which was a nightmare because I had to drill it out, and then I replaced it with another much smaller rivet, and then that got smashed too, so I drilled that out. So this is rivet number 3. Looks quite sweet now, and that's the other bit of that little feather. So I've made it look kind of like, I don't know, it's still feathery, but I've made it look like kind of the arrows. I'm calling it the arrows of love, because it was actually a nightmare, this ring, since it broke and everything went wrong. But it's been revived several times now. I gave it a really good buffing with a silicone buffing wheel, and it sort of left kind of satiny marks, but I kind of like it. What did I put on it? $30. Well, it's worth it to me for the nightmare of work that I had to put into it, but no one will buy it. I doubt very much anyone will buy it, but it's all right. I'm not worried. It can just sit here till the apocalypse ends, or I get with the program, or I don't know. But all the work you put into it, and you can't charge much for it really, because, you know, I don't know. Maybe people do pay a lot for artistic little rings. I don't know. I'll find out whenever I get around to trying to market anything. And so yeah, down here are my little sterling silver little plates that I paid off on Afterpay, because that's how I get things, like on lay-by or very, very slowly. And the plan was to cut this up and make jewellery out of it, and it probably will happen one day, but I actually love it, so it's sitting there. It's sitting there for now until I get the muse comes to me to hack it into pieces and turn it into something. And this is my other little plate, which I'm quite fond of too. Just got that recently. So it's like, yeah, every couple of months or a month or so, I try and buy something nice. Since I'm not dancing at the casino, spending hours and hours of energy dancing, and yeah, not spending any money on drinks. Not that I spent much there, to be fair, probably $40 to $80 a weekend, but all that money I'm saving on not buying Jack Daniels and dancing wildly with, you know, wild men who don't actually value me. I'm able to buy a few nice pieces of silver, and I'm very thrilled about that. So yeah, that's my mother's Lardro collection. I'm still haven't parted with, because people won't pay you for it. And yeah, so that's it. That's my video. I got this little chest of drawers. Here's all my little things happening. I got this little chest of drawers in Marketplace, and from a very nice chappie. It was a very dark night, and I got a bit scared because I couldn't find his house. I thought it was one of those people that play pranks on Marketplace. I've had so many trolls on Marketplace. But anyway, I got this. I think I paid $50 for it. And look, it's perfect. It holds my peppy tool, holds my soldering equipment, holds my hammers and assorted stuff. And down here it holds my drill bits and drills, and so perfect organisation, very perfect organisation. And oh yes, these were my mother's. They sit on the side of a plate, you know, and you had your little biscuit on the side of the plate. Someone on the Bling group suggested I turn these into like little breastplate necklaces, which I might. They're very large. Like, hello, they take up a lot. But I did used to have a large pendant, nearly as large, which I lost years ago. So I've missed that. So maybe I might do that. And this is my. I think people that know me well have probably seen this before. My mother's old Italian inlaid drinks cabinet. There's like a piece of it still lying around that I might resuscitate for something else. And yeah, my project's waiting to be done. Oh, and I sewed this little bag out of silk swatches. So yeah, I've been very creative in the last few months, but I'm tired. It's been a lot. It's been a lot for me. A little bit too much actually. I need a holiday. I'm doing all this madness. Oh, I bought this piece of wood in reverse garbage, and it's perfect for, I'll show you. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Clunk. I couldn't damage that. Eek. I don't think so. It's perfect for, holding this up without smashing it against the wall like I just did. So there is that. So yes, that's what I've been doing. This was my labour of love for it took me 2 days, which was piercing saw cutting practice that I did on this pendant, which I'm very proud of. It was a lot of work, blah blah blah. Everything's a lot of work and I whinge about work, but I can't stop doing it lately, so that's good. I finally got with the program after years of sleeping in a vegetative zombie state. So, things are happening in Psychedelic Dreamers world. That's my nickname from Pal Talk. Things are happening, and let's just see. I don't know where it will end up, but it's all happening in a far out way. Today I pulled out, look, I bashed the crap out of my desk. Oh well, it's only a sheet pine one that I got for free, but it's not the point. I feel embarrassed every time I look at that. I go, oh, what have you done? But anyway, today I pulled this off. I have schmonzes hanging off my 4-poster bed, because I have an opulent bed, people, because I don't have a partner and I live alone, so at least I want to lie in bed and have it all looking nice and girly and sweet and romantic and gorgeous. That's probably why I don't get a partner. I take one look at my bedroom and freak out, but that's okay. This is a nurse's belt that hangs off my bed, and I looked at it today and I thought, well, it's been hanging off my bed for many years now. Hung off the other little cheap metal 4-poster I had, and I'm thinking it's time, instead of it just hanging around, although it looks pretty to look at when I'm lying in bed, especially when I'm not feeling well. I lie in bed and look at all the bits and pieces that I've hung up there. I'm thinking this would look nice, ripped apart and turned into a bracelet or earrings, or several bracelets actually. That's the showpiece there, the centerpiece. I'd have to cut all that off, I suppose. But so there's a bracelet there, those two, and then there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, probably get 2 bracelets out of it. So I'm thinking about that, because it's a nurse's belt and it's probably sacrilege to cut that up. It probably was worn by some poor nurse. It's only electroplated nickel silver, so it's not all that valuable, but it'll look pretty with a good polish up. Maybe hang interesting things from it. I'm thinking about that. Somebody stop me. I'm going to finish up now. I just wanted to show you that I was determined to get this ring made, and it's not even silver, like it was just nuts. But now I've done it. I had to use what Craftsman so beautifully calls the negotiator. I had to use a bit of a hammer on it, so there's a few scuff marks on it now. But look, this is as good as it's going to get, guys. I'm just knackered. I'm just so knackered, exhausted from all of this. Carry on. My dream, this is a long-term goal, right, is I want to make enough money so I can travel all over the world and visit all the sacred and holy spaces all over the world, like places like Teotihuacan, Mexico, you know, the Gaza Plateau in Egypt, Newgrange in Ireland, you know, where else would I like to see? I'd like to see Stonehenge, although my daughter said it was overrated and she didn't really like it there much. I'd like to see Glastonbury. I'd like to see the Hill of Tara, where the Fae are in Ireland. I'd like to see, you know, like there's places all over the world that we don't even hear about, you know, that if you speak to the local people that will say, well, this is like really magical, or this is where unusual events happen. I just want to plant my big fat hobbit feet. Here they are. Here's the big fat hobbit feet. And I just want to plant them on all these holy, sacred places. And maybe also, like, you know, see touristy places too, like Paris and Florence and Rome. And I'd probably like to go to Hamburg, Germany, only because the only connection to that is my mother was born there and I don't have happy memories of my mother, so, you know, stuff that idea. But I'd like to see all these places. So I did go to Hamburg as a child and I didn't really enjoy myself much because the first thing they did was throw me back into school, so there was that. I didn't actually get to see much. So yes, I'd like to, the dream is that one day, hopefully in the not too distant future, because I'm 56 now and my health's been very precarious and I figure I don't have that many years ahead of me to travel, because the anxiety of being in strange spaces and strange places and not knowing the language and, you know, the dangers of travel, plus being older and vulnerable, plus, you know, my usual default state of not having a great deal of money would probably be too stressful for me anyway. So the game is the game of life, because everyone has to have a challenge and a little bit of a game you play, is I'm telling myself that I'm making all this and that is the outcome, that I will get enough money to travel and, you know, see all the things before I die and before it's too late. Anyway, that's kind of ridiculous because I actually travel to all those places every day watching YouTube videos, and I was on Gaia.com for a long time and just watching all these places that I always dreamed of visiting in real life. So, and if you believe in spirit, we all know that when we transition from the physical world into the spiritual world, we can travel to all these places just in the mere blink of an eye, or mere, like, the moment the thought comes, we're there. So I'm not missing out on anything, really. I don't even know why I've put so much pressure on myself with this jewellery thing that I don't even know if I'll be a success at, because it's just ridiculous. You know, but it's keeping me off the dance scene in the Brisbane CBD, that it's become so debauched that they threaten to rape women now from members of the band. It's just like gross. And I left Irish Murphys for that reason in 2014, 2015, and now the casino does it. So it's our society is devolving into just rape culture and debauchery, which I've been very angry and upset about, because, you know, I come from that background of abuse. So it's certainly not what how I want to spend my life, dancing and putting all my energy and life force and chi and excitement into a music scene where women are degraded and devalued and disrespected. So I've been grieving that since January this year when I quit the casino. But yes, instead of spending time and money on, you know, debauchery and people who weren't really authentic friends or lovers or whatever. I mean, a few ex-lovers used to troll past and stare at me occasionally, which was actually quite disconcerting. But instead of spending time with all those people who were just not my tribe and not my vibe and not kind, you know, started putting me down and disrespecting me, I decided to start making jewellery. And in a very short space of time that I started doing this, almost immediately actually, I found the Bling Group, or actually the lady from the Bling Group, Janet Green, thank you Janet, found me. And the members of this little group have been so supportive and encouraging, mentoring me in my newfound pursuit, and even, like, you know, yeah, cheering me on days like yesterday when I was a bit messed up over wrecking the other ring. And like I say, the intrinsic value, it's not worth anything. It's stainless steel. It's not even silver. But it was just the amount of time I put into it. And I discovered I get very upset when I spend hours or days, you know, of effort putting into a project and it just fails miserably or breaks or is useless. And probably I get more upset than the average person because it's so hard for me to push myself to do anything in the first place. And then I guess with my trauma issues, I probably have a bit of an overreaction, because I was told my whole life growing up that I was, you know, ugly and worthless and useless. Of course, when I fail at something, the immediate default state is I think, well, I'm ugly and worthless and useless, which we all know is absolutely not true. You know, I'm actually just as worthy of my little hobbit-footed stance on Mother Earth as any other life form on this planet. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with my progress in the last 5 months, really, since I started doing this. So, this video is a shout out to thank all the people who were instrumental in my continued existence on this planet, and to all those who encouraged me in my artistic pursuits that even I at the time thought, what on earth where's this coming from? But there's a method in my madness, and sometimes it takes a while for me to catch up to my own madness and my own methods. But yeah, I'm very happy with this ring. It doesn't sit right. It can sit like that. But I'm very happy with it, and so achievement accomplished after yesterday's little disaster. Thanks for watching. If you like my musings and my ramblings and my, you know, my fantasies about spiritual travelling and authenticity and true love and all the other crazy stuff I rave on about while I'm making jewellery, feel free to like and subscribe. Some of my videos are a bit dark because it's the headspace I'm in at the time. But I've got to pull this out and show you. And I'm so proud of it. It's a silly little thing, but I'm so proud of it. I did the little drawing and everything by myself. And then I put it on my Bling Group, and then they said, oh, you need to clean up all the rough edges, which I did. And look, honestly, I'm chuffed with it. I'm really chuffed. So there is that. So the next project, now that I've completed the feather ring that I was determined to complete, which nearly killed me. The last hour or so was hard, especially when I was negotiating it with the hammer, thinking, that's how I broke the last one. I was really worried. But I took Teresa's advice. She said, you know, it got too close to the cuts and it got too thin and snapped, which is exactly what happened last time. So I took her advice and I spaced them further apart so there was less pressure on the sliced little joints. But yes, happy psychedelic dreaming Tanya Aarons, coming to you from Sacred Space at Holland Park, Brisbane. Australia, Southern Hemisphere, planet Earth. Thanks for watching. Bye.